Hey, Dr. Tom here, and I want to chat with you today about 10 of the most common objections I've seen in my 20 plus years as a professional coach consultant around money. The first one is one of the most common ones. It comes out of that crazy old saying that some people believe exists that said that money is the root of all evil. And again, let's be clear. There's nothing evil about money. Money is just an amplifier, right? Money is just energy. And energy in and of itself is not evil. To say that energy was evil would you say that the sun was evil, or a tree was evil, or that light was evil, right? It's just energy. But the people that use the money and how they use it, what they use it for, amplifies who they are. And if they're a complete butthole, they'll just be a bigger butthole with money. And if they're a great person, they'll just be an even greater person with money. So the key distinction here is that it's got nothing to do with the money. It's like the people. It's like, my belief system is that, guns and knives don't kill people. It's the people that kill the people. They just use that as a tool. Money is just a tool and an amplifier of someone's existing character. So that's the first thing I want you to think about when you think about resetting your money blueprint. One of the other common ones we hear is it's better to be enlightened than rich. Right? It's a spiritual thing. And it's this kind of poverty complex that come in from people like, say, Mother Teresa, for example, right? People make the assumption inherent in that belief is that you can't be both, that you can't be enlightened or spiritual and rich. And I can categorically tell you that is not true. It's just a scarcity consciousness that tends to think either or. And abundance consciousness thinks both. And again, here's the key. It's not the money, it's the people. I know some very enlightened spiritual people that are crazy financially rich. I know some enlightened people that are not. And if you're living in a place of choice, you can decide to be one or the other. But please do not take it as a prime directive from the creative intelligence or God himself that, it's better to be poor and spiritual than it is to be rich. Because in fact, you can be both. All right? Third one we commonly hear is people who say, well, if I strive to be rich, there'll be no time for anything else. Well, again, that's a scarcity consciousness. It's making the assumption that the only way to get rich is to work really, 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 really hard. And hey, I can work hard with the best of them. I grew up on a small rural farm, right, in northern Ontario, Canada. And I know what it's like to put in, 12, 14, 16-hour days. I know what it's like to get up and milk the cows at 6 a.m. every day of your life, including Christmas morning, right? So I get it. I understand. And there's nothing wrong with hard work. It'll get you where you need to go. But it can also be the thing that can stop you from growing to the next level, right? It's making an inherent assumption that you can't work smart, that you have to work hard. And if you work hard, there'll be no time. Absolutely not true. Categorically not true. I can tell you that today I work shorter work days than I did 15 years ago when I was working much longer, much harder, and I'm actually enjoying life more, and interesting enough, making more abundant financials in the process, all right? The fourth one that often people buy into is that if I have lots of money, then other people will have less. They're buying into a finite vision of money. They're not realizing that because it's energy, it's infinite, it's infinite, okay? And so again, think about that. Think about how big the solar system is. Think about how big our universe is. Holy cow. They tell me that Hubble keeps finding new parts and new places, and the light has been traveling for hundreds of millions of years. I mean, that just blows my mind to think that something is that big. And the universe is energy, money is energy, the universe is infinite, it's infinite. And in fact, you're infinite. Here's where I learned this. The birth of my second daughter in our lives, her name is Tessa. Terrified while Shelley was pregnant with her because I thought there's no way I could love anything on planet Earth more than I loved my oldest daughter, Jara. And I was afraid that if I loved Tess, I'd take something away from Jara. And the instant that Tess was born, I knew that love was infinite. And so is money. You having lots does not take any away from me or anybody else on planet Earth. So please get over that one. Let it go. All right. One of the other ones we often hear is people will want something from me. Well, you know what? People may or may not want something from you, but there's this really interesting word that I taught all of my daughters early on in life. It's 2 letters, N-O, right? Now, if you don't have that sense of character and the sense of presence of mind to say no to people if they do want something from you, that's an entirely separate issue. But it's got nothing to do with the money. I can tell you that I have been so broke in my life that I had to look up to see, the poverty line. And I've also been blessed with an abundance of financial riches. I can tell you that those two things did not correlate with any people asking me for a handout or for money. So again, another one, just a fiction of your imagination. Lose it, and don't let it be a reason that you don't expand your service to humanity and create more abundance as a result. Another one we commonly hear, money causes problems. Again, let's go back to some of the things we said earlier in this video. It's not the money, it's the people. It's not the knives and guns that kill people, it's the people. It's not the money causing the problems, it's the people that have the money. And again, I know some people with a lot of money that have a lot of problems, and I know some people with a lot of money who have almost no problems. I have some people that are broke who have lots of problems. People are broke and have a lot of problems. It's not the money, it's the people. So just please, I'm pounding that one into your awareness. I'm hoping that you can buy in because I want you to be wealthy as how you define it. All right? Another one we often hear. It's harder as a woman to be rich. Yes, we are in a patriarchal cycle in this Mullamantar in the universe. I get that, okay? But you know what? Somebody ought to ask Oprah. You know, somebody should tell Oprah that it's harder to become wealthy at this stage of life, this stage of the universal's evolution, if you're a woman. You know what? There's a lot of very wealthy women out there. Don't use that as an excuse to block you from being the best version of you can be. Again, here's another one. It's a variation of what we talked about earlier. Rich people aren't happy. No. I know rich people that are happy and poor people that are happy. I know poor people that are sad, and I know rich people that are sad. It's not the money. It's the people. How they live with it, whether they can be responsible with it, whether they hoard it, whether they feel like they're in flow, whether they practice philanthropy. There's lots of reasons. It's not the money is the point we're definitely making in this video. It's about the people that have the money. All right. I'm a good giver, but I'm not a good receiver. Wow, this is one we hear a lot, particularly in the healing arts. And it's very common that we, love to give. We love to help our family and our spouses and our practice members and other people that are in our business, but we have a hard time receiving. Here's the truth for me on this. It's called the law of balanced energy. It's one of those universal principles of truth that I've studied. The law of balanced energy says that energy is balanced at all times in the universe. It's just our misperception that tells us otherwise. So what that means in terms of giving and receiving is that you can only give to the degree that you can receive, right? So you want to give more, you want to serve more, you want to build your business, sell more products or services, you got to be willing to receive more, both from self and from others. So practice flexing your receiving muscle, whether it's compliments, whether it's money, whether it's time, whether it's whatever it is that you have value for, and then watch how much more you can give to the rest of the world. Last one we want to cover is this one, which we hear a lot, very spiritually inclined people. God will make me rich, poor, or middle class. It's like a fatalistic kind of a view that says that, it's not up to me. God is the totally dictator of this. And I don't want to step on anybody's, spiritual or religious toes here, but I want to tell you a story that has great meaning to me. It's a story about a guy who drowned in a horrible storm. And when he went to St. Peter's pearly gates, so to speak, he was asked there these questions. And to relate the story back and give you context for it, this gentleman, there's a flood coming and a horrible storm, and he's up on top of his roof, and one of his neighbors goes by in a canoe, and he says, "Hey neighbor, come on, jump in, I'll take you to safety." He goes, "No, God will save me." A few hours goes by, and the EMS services are out trying to find people. They see him on his roof, and they come by in a powerboat, and they go, "Hey, come on buddy, get in, we'll take you to shore." He goes, "No, I'm fine, God will save me." And, as true to the story, as things go on and the water's rising and he's hanging onto his chimney and he's going to drown, a helicopter comes by from the Coast Guard and he yells down and says, "Buddy, get a hold of the basket, we'll take you away." He goes, "No thanks, God will save me." And he drowns. So now he's up at St. Peter's gates, as I said earlier. And St. Peter says to him, he says, "Why did you not take action? Why did you not let God help you?" And he says, "Well, yeah," he says, like, "God forgave me. I don't, he besaken me. I don't understand why I wasn't saved." And he says, "He sent you a canoe, a boat, and a helicopter. What the heck else did you want?" So again, yes, I'm a spiritual person. Yes, I know that there is a creative intelligence I call God in the universe. But I also believe that God sends us signs and gives us the opportunities to find our way in the world and express ourselves in this world so that we can make a difference with the products and services that we offer the world. So, 10 of the most common money objections and money challenges mentally that we've seen over the years, 20 years in the Full Circle Coaching and Consulting Company. Please watch this video several times and really reflect on what that means to you. Talk to your coach about it and let us help you expand your consciousness around money and finances, because we know inherently you're an amazing, talented, and fabulous person. We want you to be rich the way you define being rich.